Yeah, it's those warm oceans, warm sea surface temperatures, which, we're going to try and visualize that for a second to help just kind of further the story Brian was just talking about. First of all, on a situation that's happening right now with a hurricane that sits out here. No doubt you've been hearing about Hurricane Erin, which I'll show you where it is in 1 second. But first, look how warm the water is out here. These temperatures are near record intensity for being above average. And when we put the hurricane on top of this, Erin is now a Category 3. That's a major hurricane in its own right. But just the day before yesterday, it had intensified to a Category 5, like overnight. By the way, there it is, right on the edge of the screen. I'm going to show you the forecast track on this in 1 second. If you've got friends or family on the East Coast, you do not have to be concerned from this. The forecast track still looks pretty good. We'll look at that in 1 second. But first, it went like almost to a Category 5 in less than 24 hours. That was rapid intensification. And what drives that and allows that are these sea surface temperatures out here that have warmed so quickly. There were other factors too. It didn't really have much wind shear to it. And that allowed the storm to really strengthen as well. But a pattern we've been clearly seeing in hurricanes is this rapid intensification, warm sea surface temperatures helping to drive that. That is what the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean look like right now if you just visualize where temperatures are above average or below average. The deeper the shade of red, the warmer you are. And you can see there's a big stretch going across the Pacific right now where temperatures are above average. So in the story a second ago where they were talking about so much of the warmth getting stored in our oceans, this is what it starts looking like on here. Overwhelmingly, the oceans are well above average, and that's a pattern that's really been going for the last several decades. Here it is a little closer to home. But here's just one little element to this. We got a big patch of warm water off our coast right now. But back in June and July, this is what it looked like. We had a very cold stretch of water right off our coast, and the California current was really going into overdrive. The California current is that cold stretch of water right down our coastline. That was the reason why June and July were so well below average, why we were so cool. And what's happened over the past couple of weeks is we've started to see that warm pool of water extend much closer to the California coastline. This typically happens this time of year. But the takeaway from this is, as we now go through late August into September and October, we're going to be losing the influence here at home of that cool patch of water off our coast that has been keeping things so cool for us. Let's go back to the virtual map now if we can. So the general takeaway from that is, we're probably not going to be getting the help in terms of keeping our temperatures well below average as we trend through the next probably 2 months. Here's one good example of that. What we're starting to see happen in terms of the temperature profile across the western U.S. is there is a fairly big bubble of warm air out here over the desert Southwest each summer. And so far this summer, it's just been trapped over here, hasn't been coming our way at all. But over the course of the next 3 days, we're going to watch this center of warmth migrate. Here's each afternoon bubbling up as you see the temperatures peak, and it migrates a little. By Thursday, it's going to be a lot closer to us. And we're going to see temperatures for our warmer inland communities get up to near 100 degrees. We'll bring that back closer to home so we can put some numbers on here. And if you didn't see this at the top of the newscast, here's how the temperatures are about to change going through the next few days. We'll start out by taking a look at tomorrow's numbers. And by the way, tomorrow's pretty nice. We're not really seeing a whole lot of difference here. Daytime highs tomorrow are almost identical to where you were today and what much of June and July were like. Now we're going to change the color contour on here to where we're going to be on Thursday. And by the time we do that, we're going to start to see the temperatures really increase. Now we're looking at numbers that are going to be near 100 inland. And I'll just put the numbers on there in case the color codes aren't helpful enough. Go ahead and pick out your part of the bay. You're going to be sitting at 101 in Antioch. That's Thursday. 99 in Concord, 99 in Livermore. And a quick review of this if we can. Let's swing down to the South Bay, get everybody in here before we go to the 7-day forecast. You can see your numbers in the Santa Clara Valley. You'll be looking at temperatures that are climbing up to near 90 by the time we get there. So here's how it looks in a 7-day forecast. Thankfully, it's not going to last terribly long. Wednesday and Thursday really stand out. And then we'll bring the temperatures back down again a bit as we get towards like Saturday and Sunday of next week. We're only going back down to average though. This will feel warm in comparison to the summer you've been having. That's like 10 degrees warmer than what much of June and July were like. But it is going to be cooler than Wednesday and Thursday. And those are the numbers we should probably be getting a lot more comfortable with the idea of sticking around in the upper 80s for temperatures for our inland microclimate. All right, Andrea, back over to you.